the rest of the class. So how many of you here? I think, right, not everyone here yet. Not everyone here yet. Okay. I think we just need to wait for another 1 to 15, around 15 more students will join us today, hopefully. Right. I believe for those who are already here, you already went through the agenda. I repeat, for those who are already here, I believe you had went through the agenda for today's session. And you may realize that we are not going to do another chapter of lecture today, but we will focus more on assignments. Because of most of the question that being asked throughout the weekend, I realized that some of you still, not able to decide what should you do, right? What should you do in order to conduct site survey? And I realized that some of you, when you look at the table of content, when you look at the table of content or the samples of template that I provided, you hardly to understand what to write, right? But actually, you have to understand what is wireless LAN site survey first in order for you to conduct this assignment. I hope none of you think that, oh, if I'm using Ekahau or if I'm using, what else that most of you using, if I'm using VisiWeb, for example, or whatever tools that you are using, you thought that I rely only to the results of it, right? This is not a good understanding, right? Even in your future final year project, even in your future final year project, you get that data not only through what you're going to develop or, from the current system, for example, okay? You need to get the data from different point of view, and that's the reason why we have primary and also secondary data, right? Some of you kind of panic, worried, miss. I don't think so I can write a detailed assignment because of, I only obtain the information about my home, my home space or my workspace where the information, there's no books or journals or internet articles, and even the person, my family members that I interviewed, they hardly to cooperate because they not even know what I'm doing. Right. Actually, in doing assignment, I'm not sure how many of you realize or not, creativity is very important. Right, creativity is very important. I'm not surprised when I mention creativity. Some of you jump into conclusion that, oh, I must know drawing, I must know, to do this kind of art, animation, etc. No, I'm not referring to that kind of creativity, right? It's all about your creativity or your ability to come out or to draw conclusion, or also in order for you to provide justification or results of your findings based on the data that you gathered. That's why sometimes I'm not arguing here. I'm just giving an example, class. Sometimes in final year project, in your future final year project, normally your seniors came out with this kind of question. Miss, I don't want to do interview. I just want to do questionnaire. It's enough, right? So actually, to be honest, I'm not in a position to answer that kind of question because the research is conducted by you, conducted by students, all right? So based on the data gathered, if the evidence that you gain from interview is not enough, Why I said it's not enough? Because the system that you develop only involve lecturers, for example. That's why you interview lecturers. Then it's fine. But how about students? You're not interviewed students. How you get the data from student? Because students is one of the target users of the system. So that's why you need to conduct questioning. So same thing here, class. Same thing here for your assignment. All right. You might think that, Miss, I don't think I can do interview or maybe questionnaire because my family members not helping me. Yeah, they don't understand. Yeah, but you need to understand not every question you ask they can answer. So that's why you need to be selective. Later I'll show you some of the sample question that you can ask, but not everything you ask. You well versed about your family members or those other users actually in the current wireless LAN infrastructure. Yeah, their capability, their knowledge. For sure you want to seek for certain information, right? And that's the reason why, since they are not able to provide a very good points or very good answer on certain question, that's why some of the question you can reserve as a checklist, for observation checklist when you conduct primary data gathered through observation. And even some students said, hey, Miss, you did ask me, you did required us about the, what you call this, what is this? Some of the criteria when you conduct site survey, you need to look at industrial requirements such as antenna polarization, what else, such as what we call it, environmental behaviors or interference, right? And what else, transmit setting, right? So some of you you do not know what actually the requirement, you do not know what is this. So that's the reason why in this kind of situation, secondary research is very important to support your analysis. What mean by secondary data research means you need to find out from books, from internet articles, from journals, what are the examples or what are the site survey conducted by other parties or other organization. I believe for eKahau, I'm not sure how many of you actually, I know some of you, when you install eKahau, you not actually went to the website of eKahau or even VisiWave, or even you not even go through the survey conducted by others, yeah, which they actually shared in the eKahau website, in eKahau YouTube channel, for example. And for your information, there are many examples of site survey results out there, which you can learn from it and apply it into your assignment. When I said learn and apply into your assignment, it's not copy paste, because the site survey conducted by them is in different places, right? Different data gathered, different result. But at least you can have some samples or some examples. So that's why I want your minds is not restricted only to what I shared in class. You should have this kind of creativity to find out solution, right? So I'm not going to pinpoint, spoon feed you what you should do, etc. But I'm just giving an overall picture about what's the process. All right, sorry. Okay, where are we just now? All right. So that's the thing. I want you to have your creativity level, you know, some of your creativity skills in order to come up with how you're going to get data, you know, in order to provide the results of your site survey analysis. And that's why assumptions is very important. Some students ask me, do we really need to do assumption? Actually, the one that you cannot confirm, yeah, the one that you're not confirm, you're not sure where you get it from, you know, you don't have a proper evidence. That's why you can come up with assumption. It is assumed that, yeah, it is assumed that, right? It is assumed that since since the wireless site survey only involving the study room and also the position of the wireless router in the living room. So the wireless site survey only involve these two areas, although the Vizy website survey results will also show some of the results from other places, but the focus will be on these two areas. You know, you can lead us to your scope in the assumption. All right. So let us quickly go to the materials today. I haven't shared it, but I already shared in the meeting chat. Let me just share the content. So class, if you ask me, is it okay if I use, hold on, all right, you can view this slide, right? Okay, some of you, actually, I know you're worried. Yeah, you might worried that, Miss, I'm not able to use Ekahau. I'm having issue. That's why, but I'm still want to use Ekahau so that I can get better mark. No such thing, class. No such thing. No such thing. No such thing that if you use Ekahau, you will get better marks compared to the other application. Even if you look at the assignment question and the marking rubric, yeah, it is very clear. We are not specific that must use Ekahau, must use this and that, but you must conduct a site survey. So in other words, some student cannot use Ekahau, totally not conducting any site survey result. That is really problem. All right. Okay, so we proceed with this. Okay. Any question for a meantime? Anyone knows the attendance code? Not yet, Darsten. Not yet. Not yet. For information, yeah, I'm not consistently taking attendance at the early session, at the last session, or in the middle session. It keep changing. It keep changing, Dustin. No worry. All right, no worries. Okay, I believe you just joined us. That's why you lost. No problem. Okay, so we will do a wireless site survey details today. All right, we will do the wireless site survey details today. So you can see it from the slide. All right, we focus on assignment. So the objective, actually, I realized that some of you worried. Miss, what should I do if I conduct site survey only in my room? But you need to understand. You need to understand what's your objective. The objective of conducting the site survey. What's the objective actually? Back to the assignment question. What's the objective? Anyone can tell me? This one is the general objective. But I want to ask all of you, what's the objective for you to conduct a site survey of this assignment? Anyone want to share? What's the objective? You can modify whatever that we have in the slide there, but I just want you to specifically come up with the wireless LAN site survey objectives for our assignment. Anyone? Come on. It's okay, just try. I'm not going to. Alright, no marks taken. This one is just an open discussion to find the coverage. Very good, Jin Yong. Good try. Yes, we want to find out, is it the current wireless LAN infrastructure available at the selected place? Depends where you want to select it. If you want to select in your room, you need to understand, can your room having wireless infrastructure without the wireless router that available in living room? Cannot, right? Unless if you have the wireless router inside your room, then you can conduct the site survey only inside your room, because all the network devices are there. And another thing, yes, very good, Kaishan, to improve the current wireless LAN. The wireless LAN infrastructure means to improve the current wireless Wi-Fi coverage, Ken. To improve the connectivity. Yes, thank you, Dafa, correct. To find factor that affect. Yes, Willie, that's why. So you already decide your scope. Your scope is the living room and your room. Why? Because living room, we only want to look for the position. You know, we want to consider the wireless router device available in a living room. Then how it actually accommodates the wireless infrastructure from your room to the living room. And then why you choose between that two space? Because of that's the space, that's the place that where the current wireless usage for work from home and also for future work from home requirement or for future online businesses will involve. I'm not going to involve parking space. I'm not going to involve kitchen. I'm not going to involve my siblings' room, because in future, the work from home space or small office, home office, as well as the online business space will cover only a small portion of living room, where we just need to have that wireless router there, connect to the room, to the to the current bedroom or to the current room number one. Some of you, I know you shy to mention master bedroom, etc. You know, you want it to sound professional. Never mind. Just mention room 1, room 2, room 3. That's even sounds better. And then Nicholas here mentioned to select the best network devices. Yes, not Nicholas, I think you should modify the sentence to select the best network devices after wireless LAN site survey performed to the current site. Because what means by wireless LAN deployment? Wireless LAN deployment is the one where you improve it. All right. So change the wireless LAN deployment there, that term, to wireless LAN site survey. All right. So that's the objective. And another thing, don't forget, reflect to your assignment question the objective. Yeah, the objectives of the wireless site survey is actually, you know, to improve or to perform wireless LAN deployment to cater or to fulfill the requirement of online business operations, or to fulfill work from home requirements involving small office and home offices. Can be. That's why it's very important depending on the organization and location. So that's why be careful. Some of you said, Miss, what if the current site, the current site I only involve my room number 1 and living room, but in future it will improve involving another room. In that case, the current site will be involving room number 1 and room number 2 as well as living room, because to show that how room number 2 is not connected with wireless, for example, but after site survey, then room number 2 will be add on with network devices and devices. Clear? So that we can see before and after. So I don't want later on before maybe you just have 1 room, after 3 room, you know. But then okay, maybe I still positively think that, oh, maybe currently the house is only 1 room. In future, the student going to modify his room, or is it he going to do a house what we call it, house maintenance or something, like add on more room or whatsoever. But still, yeah, although in the current site we don't have that 2 room, and you want to have it in next in future, still the space are there, am I right? The space are there. Maybe before or current it's an open space, but after you have your wireless site survey and then you have your wireless deployment, that open space is become closed space because it's already being modified to room number 2 and room number 3. Clear? Right. So please ask if you're not sure. Okay. The whole idea, it must be a clear picture about how the current one being improved with the future requirement, or you know what you expected to be enhanced. Right, next one. So what I'm telling you today, this is the whole thing that you need to experience, yeah. But of course, not everything. There are some requirements is not being catered, or is not being is not going to be conducted for your assignment because it's not the expectation, yeah. It's not the requirements. So this one, I hope you still remember. I'm just worried now. After we did chapter 3, I repeat, after we did chapter 3 of our lecture, and after you did your test next week, next week, right? Is it next week? I forgot lah. Wait, I'll check calendar. Yeah, next week. Not next week lah, another week. 24th, right? Another 2 weeks time, sorry. Okay, I'm worried. You no longer want to see this list. All of this we already learned, you know. We already learned in chapter 3. What is this, and this. That's why I strongly advise you to look back at the slide of chapter 3 and even get the details of each of these if you don't understand. Right? So in other words, you want to tell me that, you want to show that the site survey performed by you in your assignment fulfill the industry requirement. It needs to involve all this area. Yes, it's true. Some of you might say, Miss, the output power of the transmitter, is it we want to do for all hardware? Not necessary. We are talking about the transmitter, means involving the network devices only. Means because one thing you have to understand, the end devices is not on all the time, am I right? Some of it will be shut down, etc. And some of the mobile devices will be on and off, travel outside of the house, for example, outside of the location. That the access point, power supply, the router, the switch will be continuously on. And that's the reason why you need to see the at the back of the hardware, you know, is it this kind of device is an energy saving, or you know how many kilowatt is actually, or what is the power requirement, yeah. And of course you need to understand if the current wireless router, you can ask your family members how much we pay for the bills. How much we pay for the bills, and you already realize that this much. Normally you can go to any website, even in TNB website, if this kind of usage, how much is it? Yeah, you can research that, but I'm not sure how many of you willing to research on that. All right. So how much is it? But then if you want to suggest new hardware or additional hardware or improve it, make sure the one that you suggest, is it energy saving or even required high energy, where it may lead to the high cost of the deployment as well. So this one is actually why industry requirement involve this, because their concerns on the energy savings and able to support how many usage as well, right? The rest like intended use, I think you're already aware, size of physical location. In other words, make sure when I read the current result of your site survey, I can have all of this in your discussion. All of this in your discussion. Some students said, Miss, when I did that eKahau in BusyWeb or other application, Miss, I only can get a what we call this, a signal coverage. All right, no problem. Means for that particular what we call this, for that particular application, you only can get information for that. That's it. You don't expect by using BusyWeb eKahau you can get all the information, all this information from that application. No. Like this one, intended use, maybe you can get it from your interview, size of physical location to be covered. This one is actually maybe you can get from the site survey result, because when you walk around, it's some application it might actually show the measurement. Measurement is not specifically, it can be the estimation. I don't expect the specific one. Estimations, no issue. Like this one, number of users, you cannot get from the application. Some of it you can get it on your own through observation, through questionnaire, through interview, and some of it need to be based on application. Like this one, performance expectation from user, but is it meet or not? Is it the aspect like performance expectation? Like normally a simple example, we go for internet, for example, we go for 300 megabit per second, for example, rather than we go for 100 megabit per second. Why? Because we expect maybe can get 300, but no such thing, right? Divide by number of user again. So these are the thing. Performance expectation, your parents said 300 megabit per second, but then after your research, you realize that, you did your speed test whatsoever, not all the time 300. It's just that those who are using wired, they connect their laptop wired or desktop wired to the wireless router, maybe they can get 300, for example, or better than 100. But those who are using wireless, when they do performance tests, different. Even the first time, Unify people, Time.com, whatsoever, Maxis people, when they install the wireless infrastructure for your first time at your home, they want to ensure to get that 300 to show you that's 300. They're not doing it wirelessly, They will have their laptop connect wired and show to you. If you argue with them, why you use wired or what? Some of them never care, they don't know. Like me, I know why they connect wired, because I know if they use wireless, they wouldn't get that much. And further, why they cannot get that much? Maybe currently there are other users using it as well. But normally for the first time, it's just their computer lah. But we never know. These are the things. Alright? They got question or not? No, Okay, so proceed. So please, even this one, obstacles and propagation. Some students said to me, Miss, should I do all reflection, refraction, diffraction, whatsoever? You ask yourself You ask yourself. Diffraction. Remember or not diffraction? Normally cause of what class? Diffraction. Come on, I did ask that in tutorial last time. Diffraction. Let me type lah. Some of you might not understand my pronunciation. This is Malaysian pronunciation. Diffraction, Diffraction normally caused by what? Anyone? Diffraction caused by what? Waiting for your answer. Caused by what normally? Diffractions. Very good, very good. Yes, very good, Hongyi. Very good, Leonis. Is tall building. Brandon, walls not necessary diffraction. Jingyon not necessary diffraction. But if you're talking about walls actually covered, walls that build up the tall building, then you're right. But if you mention walls itself, it's not that really correct, all right? So actually tall building. So you ask yourself, is it your current site is what we call this is surrounded, oh my god, hardly to find that kind of vocab, surrounded by tall building, then you should consider about diffractions in the results of your analysis. And you cannot simply set diffraction without without showing the location surrounded with tall building. Even this one also, some student need me to tell them, hey, you take picture, you show your house is actually surrounded with tall building. This one, okay, actually a good evidence because you observe, you captured, gathered, and bring it into your assignment. And even we have other issues like if it's because of certain medium like glasses, we never know, some of your house might be full of glasses mirrored, especially that if your family members is actually really good into interior design, we never know, right? Some design is actually having unique styles where it may affect the performance of wireless infrastructure. Okay, all right, so proceed. And then this one also, radio frequency. I know most of you said, hey miss, we are using 5 GHz, but then you have to understand there are also other option like 2.4. Am I right? So although you're not using it, but it's there, but you still need to mention, but you still need to mention the current one is 2.4 and 5. So more usage on 5. That's why like simple example like at my home, normally if I'm at first floor, if I at ground, at the down, at the ground floor where actually the location near to the router, normally I go for 5. But if I'm actually upstairs, all right, because I know there's like a barrier in between. It's not directly, directly line of sight. I can view the router from upstairs. Then I will switch to 2.4. Because you don't think that 5 all the way is the best one. No, 5 is only for short distance and no obstacle in between. Then 5 will be perfect one. So, but again, depends on the design of your house lah, Depends on the design of your house. If your house is full of furniture, it might be affected as well. All right. At my house is more on open space. Right. Okay, clear. And then wireless LAN. This one, to be used, you have to understand what is the current one. The current one you are using maybe Unifi router. So you want to use in future, is it still maintain Unifi router, or is it your parents say, I don't want lah, this Unifi router, you try find out Maxis lah, you try find out Time lah. In that case, you need to discuss, all right? You need to discuss the requirement. The current one is Unifi router, and the expectation for future is a better provider such as what. Because some students ask me, when we talk about site survey, is it we want to involve the requirement for the current one or for the future one? Actually, both. You need to introduce what you have, the current one, and what you expect for future. For example, when you survey a house, you want to buy a house. You want to buy a house, all right? You want to buy a house, let's say, what is the current house that you are looking at? Or this is semi-D house, for example. This semi-D house, the current one got this. My current house is semi-D house. The current one is this, and this, what we got. But the expectation, what I want in future, also semi-D. But I want it having having different or additional requirements such as what. Right? So the whole idea, your assignment, I don't want you to have these 360-degree changes. For example, As I mentioned, you need to conduct site survey at your home or a space of office. Maybe belongs to your family members. But then, yes, you conduct site survey at your office whatsoever, at your current home, but suddenly your recommendation, oh my God, your recommendation is what, you get it from other people result of suggestion, like a company of an enterprise, etc. So this is 360-degree, totally changed. In other words, why you want to conduct site survey at your home and yet you want to move to different room? You want to move, not room lah, you want to move to different building, you want to move to different location. That is wrong. That is wrong. When we conduct this site survey, I want you to conduct site survey for your house to see how it could be enhanced, could be maintained, improved. Not totally, in that case, then no need to conduct site survey here lah. No need to conduct site survey at your home. Then just move lah to the new places and conduct site survey there and improve there. Clear? Clear or not, class? See, mumble already. So, Miss, we need to identify problem in the current site via site survey and then make Yes, you're right. That's why your current wireless LAN that you want to conduct your site survey with is at your home, right? At your home. Okay, I know. Hey, Miss, my house very big, I'm not afford to do, bring that laptop, go the whole house. Understand. Now, what I want you to do, okay, selective. You set the scope, all right? You set the scope. Okay, living room downstairs. I just walk and conduct site survey from that wireless router and then go up using staircase, immediately go to my room and conduct site survey at my room as well. So you conduct site survey from that wireless router downstairs, go up staircase until your room. That's it. Why? Because if you want to improve, you want to recommend something, you want to enhance the current site, is only from that wireless router to your room. That's it. Kitchen no need to put into your floor plan because you don't want to cover it. Kitchen no need, room 3, room 4 no need. Clear? Okay. But then some students said, Miss, I just want to do at my room. Can. But your room, how you get your wireless? Or from the living room they got wireless router. In that case, still need to involve the wireless router at the living room because you cannot show the wireless router at the living room, right? If you just do floor plan only at your room, something wrong there. So site survey for the whole house. Yes, Jin Yong, accepted, Jin Yong. As I said just now, I'm not sure as well how big is your house. Some of you, your house is really big, like a very big house. Then maybe tiring lah for you to walk around and conduct site survey. You yourself, you know your capability. But my house, if I want to do the whole house, no problem. It's just a small house. What if my router is in my... no problem, Shri. That's wonderful already. It means you just do in your room, everything there. That's already good, Shri. Okay, no problem. Okay. What I mean that the site that you choose is actually where you have your current wireless infrastructure, right? Your current one, because we want to test the current one. If the current one is available in different room, but in your room have nothing, what you can do, you need to do your room, the nothing one, maybe just your mobile phone, all right, with the wireless router in the living room. Clear? Okay. So okay, clear? Right, so I proceed. Okay, settle this one, settle. Gathering business and also requirement. One thing also, you ask yourself as well. Some of you, when you do this assignment, you do for different kind of business. Am I right? Some of you, you're not conducting for business. Your business is more on SOHO. SOHO, that is, you want to have an environment where you can work from home. where you can connect to the company server through internet. So you need to understand, what are the critical part, and then how what is the expectation of this user requirement and also business requirement, in order for you to determine what is the results, or what is the best recommendation later on for your site. All right. In order for you to gather this, that's why you need to understand what are the application hardware being used. Like currently, maybe you don't have server at home. Currently, maybe you don't have server at home. But then you might wonder, Miss, if I want to have business, online business in future, I don't want this database. Some of you can have your system database yourself. I don't want this database to be available at my PC, because my PC also I will do for my own stuff. Sometimes I play game as well, right? Sometimes I karaoke also, right? So that's the reason why I'm planning to have a new laptop or a new PC in future, where I will place it as server, only for server. All right, only for server. So that's the reason why in future I will need additional device. So once I need additional device, is it the current wireless residential gateway? When I said wireless residential gateway, is actually equivalent to wireless router. Same thing, it's same name. It's different name but same item. The name is wireless residential gateway, wireless router, right? So currently the port that I use is already connect to my PC, connect to the printer. So I'm not having enough, wired port. And some of you might say, isn't that we using for wireless infrastructure? Correct. But you have to understand, some printers, some server wiredly connected to the wireless infrastructure, but the access point that connect to one of the port is actually will cover or will support the wireless connection. So you don't tell me, Miss Salmia asked to do wireless site survey, so bye-bye lah those wired. No, still, wireless infrastructure is not 100% wireless. We still have the backbone to support the wired connection, especially to the access point, right? The mesh access point normally provided by Unify, right? So that's the reason why you need to know the current one, how many access point. Current one, 0 access point. But when you interviewed your family members, I think that Unify 15 ringgit, I just add 15 ringgit every month for the additional access point. Can lah, no problem lah. So that better for upstairs also can use 5 gigahertz rather than 2.4, for example. That's what being mentioned by one of your family member, or maybe that's what in your thought. Okay. So current one, 0 access point, for example, or 1 or 2. Maybe in future we have more, right? So that's why in your site survey, I can see that some student report, they organize it by having analysis of current one, and that one in one paragraph, maybe a few paragraphs, and then some paragraph is providing discussions on what the expectation in future. That's one style. Another style, some students, they mix up. They talk about currently having this way, the expectation is this, mix up in the same few paragraph. Can also. And some students, their report, they have a sections for the current site, right? And then they have another chapter for the expectation. Then they have recommendation. Can also, no problem. So that's the reason why I don't want to spoon feed you with the template last time, but since some of you asked for sample, I'm giving you a sample, but I'm kind of worried at the end of the day, everyone do the same. So I'm worried about similarity, okay? And also another thing, if I'm not mistaken, class, because I experienced this before during my master study. I'm having issue with Turnitin when I copy paste. Even the copy paste is just a template. But then when I did some testing, even like table of content, I did not copy paste, like, I don't use the template provided by my lecturer, I type. End up, it's not contribute to similarity, it is not contribute. So the whole idea, although you are not copy paste the whole thing, you just copy paste some words or whatsoever, don't do that as well. It may actually contribute, because whatever data that you transmit or bring from, they have their identity, and I believe Turnitin works based on that. They actually look at that identity. So in the whole idea, type lah to be safe. And also don't forget, remember or not the link that I provided in the assignment submission in Moodle? There's one link, right? I shared with you where you can submit your assignment first to check for plagiarism or Turnitin similarity before you do final submission. That one they won't stop lah. They just want to just provide how many percentage, so that you aware. Oh, let's say before final submission, I already got 50% similarity here. So what I need to do, let's say you still got another 3 days to submit the real one, you change lah whatever that contribute to the plagiarism or similarity, so that when you submit at final one, from 50 maybe become 5% only. Clear? So you all aware, don't forget. I'm just worried some of you already forgot about this and simply submit. It happened, it happened. I did mention this for how many in-text already. I already provided the link. Some students still submit and then got plagiarism. And one thing, class, to be honest, I cannot help you as well. No, I cannot help you, because when everything online, submission online, admin open the result, second marker, or even your program leader just want to check, they open the link and show your assignment submission and got result similarity there. More than this one, more than not even 50%, 70%. Why this lecturer don't report this thing, don't come up with plagiarism report, and then we are the one who are having problem. I have to report it. If I'm not report, I will be asked why you're not reporting it. Is it student give you something, you're not reporting it? Of course they didn't ask but it's not a good thing. It's not a good thing for you not doing your job. So that's why it's my responsible. If any of the similarity percentage, right? Normally it's orange scale color and red. If green, still safe. Yellow still safe also. Yellow 50-50. But normally I go through, I come up with a report saying that why is yellow scale color? Because of the one that being highlighted is table of content, APU logo. So okay lah, you're safe. But the orange and red one scale, if I'm not mistaken, the one that be above 30%, that one hardly to justify. All right, hardly to justify. Even the student submit twice, maybe. That's why we don't want you to submit one time at the formal submission. Submit at the link first. So that one also still being called up for the plagiarism meeting. So you need to show evidence that you already submit one time. That's why it have this result second time like this. But it's long story lah. Better don't avoid this. Please don't. And further, your degree level, not like diploma and certificate. Diploma and certificate, they just give you warning. Degree no. Degree no. Okay. So where am I just now? Okay, expectation. All right. And then you need to know what application used by your client. And normally at your home, we don't have this lah. Public access, hospitality, no such thing lah. But we never know. Surprisingly, who knows? Your house is next to, I don't know, maybe there's a mama restaurant. You know, your house is something like an apartment. Down there, normally they have a shop lots, right? Shop lots. You are actually just nearby, so you can actually use the Wi-Fi provided by the mama restaurant. So that one is not considered public as that one is considered on hospitality lah, provided. Hotspot, Hospitality normally they willing you to share, but normally hotspot the password only will be provided to certain users. Depends on that Mamak restaurant. Is it their hospitality shared it? No, they just shared it, place it on the poll day. Saying that place on the cashier saying that this is the password. That one normally hospitality lah. But if hotspot normally they just share password to certain people only. All right. Public access, you don't need to provide password normally. Okay. And then in many cases, customer brand notebook computers, this one depends. You need to understand, but nowadays computer is, if it's Windows 10 and above, operating system should be okay, no issue. It's just that maybe depends on who are the user at your home and what kind of computers that they are using, right? Okay, next one. Backward compatibility. This is another issue lah. Another issue, depends. But I believe most of student site survey, they don't have this issue. They don't have this kind of issue where the infrastructure will not have control over the type of client device that may connect. Yeah, normally when we actually assign to certain provider, we actually can go through their application in order to find out all these details. All right. Okay. Right. Interview. You want to interview user. You want to interview not manager lah. In your assignment case, not manager. In your case, the potential owner in future. All right. Could be your family members or what. You need to understand what's their intended use, the current one, and then what their critical part of successful means are, what the one that they always argue, always critique of the current infrastructure, where it's actually leads to the successful of deployment one. But because of, if the person that you interview and never critique, this one already very good, very good. So you just need to maintain lah. Maintain. And then why you said maintain, and then this person also said very good. Ask lah, why very good? You also don't ask good, and then you never bothered to ask why good. Ask. Even I ask my student, hey, last time diploma you studied in APU, and then you continue your degree in APU. You still want to continue in APU? Why? Because APU good lah, or is it good? Why? What is the good thing? Normally I will investigate one. I wouldn't hear only good. I want to know it's because of what. Is because of what, so that we know what to maintain. For example, if the student said APU is good because now we are very close with the lecturer, right? Then we need to maintain that. Okay. Or let's say if the student said we are very good, APU good because of security program, so we need to maintain this program in APU. So same thing for your site survey. When you said Unify is good as a provider, why? Because of why? Then you need to evaluate, analyze, so that in future, if there any provider that provided something like this but with better offer, then there's a potential or potential of to change the option, right? Okay, and of course there's a limit in everything, right? You want to use it because of it's good, there's a limit, maybe up to certain time where you need to switch because of what? There's a requirements of having better connection, for example. Okay, where am I just now? Understanding may not. All right, will be used for then those who will, to explain the wireless network will be used for then those who will be using it. Yes. You need to see who are the current user and also in future. Some of you might think, oh, the current one is already very good. But count how many user, but we never know in future. Who knows, you have a newborn siblings, right? We never know, okay? Or who knows that the business will be expanding, all right? Okay, think. Current and also who will use it in future. And those performing site survey may not necessarily understand the functional aspect of certain type business. Therefore, it is critical to get input from all who will be, I know some of you might think that some of the question my parents cannot answer, this user cannot answer, they are not a technical people. But you can just always chit chat and ask lah, because they are using the wireless infrastructure. If they are not using, then it's okay, can be ignored. They can be ignored. You got what I mean? Those who are using, you need to ask. Okay, because it's very important information, although just one question. All right. Maybe you just need to find out what application that they use while using the wireless infrastructure. Okay, and then department managers team, okay, usually know the function. Okay, this one, if your current site involving, you know, your family members, company or whatsoever, maybe you need to involve the managers of certain units, or even the owner of certain company. All right. Okay, because different department, different unit having different requirement, so we cannot actually provide them with a very high bandwidth, services for their department, and yet some departments required more, right? You know, right? In what we call this, we can always have auto bandwidth to be provided, or you can set, you know, only 100 megabit per second for certain connection on certain port of the access point, right? And then recommended to create type of checklist or formal site survey. Actually, checklist is for your own. You are the one who observe. This one, if you ask people to provide their data, right? During the interview process. In this case, some of you interview, you have different question. But if the question that you want to ask is actually similar to questionnaire, you can ask them immediately, all right, through interview, and you are the one who fill up the questionnaire for them, all right? And that's the reason why, if the question similar, that's why some of you're not conducting interview, because the person involved in the in the questionnaire, they can answer. But why is it necessary to have interview? Because the person that you involve in answering the questionnaire, they do not know what is this question. They ask a lot of question about it. You know, they ask you, this first question is what? Second question is what? Then you need to conduct interview with them. All right. And also, it could involve expert, someone that, you know, maybe your brother is already work in network department. They give a lot of information to you. That one also you cannot give questionnaire. Why you cannot give questionnaire? Because there's many information we will gain from them. So questionnaire is something that restrict them to answer yes, no, yes, no, for example. So please conduct interview for that, right? Checklist normally for you lah, observe. Okay. All right. This is some example, but then you can have more. You can have more. For example, the first question you will conduct, you ask, has a site survey been performed or not in past? Maybe you ask your siblings, you did any site survey before? Maybe they are also our student, you know, our APU student. Got, my assignment, I conduct site survey. What's the result? So you see the result, oh, and then you conduct your own, got different or not, right? And then any blueprint floor plan or not, available or not? If no, that's why you need to draw on your own. Okay, how many users anticipate? Okay, you can ask everyone in your house. Some of your family members or some of the, you know, the managers that you ask, they will answer different numbers. So from there you can see which is the majority answer. That one is the accurate one normally. Will public access be required? This one some of you might not ask lah, might not ask, but who knows? You want to ask, if let's say we have our online business in future, our customer come to our house and sit there at our guest room. Do you think we want to provide public access to them, or we want to provide hotspot to them? We just share our password a while. Is it, you know, sometimes your family members come visited. Is it you have public access to provide for them? You know, just public access, or you give password or what? You know, these are the things. Is there any preference of specific? You can ask lah. If I want to improve, should we go, you know, the which product the one from Jalan Pasar one, or the one from the online, this one provider, the well-known one like D-Link or what? You can ask, right? Is there any specific preferences or, you know, mix and match. What is the coverage area? These are the things. You can ask, if let's say we want to have online business in future, do you think we want to have this infrastructure to be covered only at my room and also living room or the whole house? You can ask that. And the current one is only covered which area? You know, ask their understanding. Actually, kitchen cannot get coverage, you know, cannot. I already experienced one many times. I use internet while I'm cooking, cannot. Maybe only your mother's experience that, the rest, for example. So how you can confirm it? That's why you conduct site survey using application. Oh, correct lah. After I conduct site survey, oh, red scale at kitchen area. No wonder. So it confirmed the data that being shared by your mother, for example. Or mother means one of the user. You can name it as one of the user. I know when you conduct interview or whatever, you do not want to address it as mother, father, siblings. You can just address as user number 1, user number 2, number 3. All right, no issue. That's better. That sounds more professional. Is an existing wireless network in place? These are the thing. Yes, it covered way, right? These two related. Right, if an existing wireless infrastructure in place, do you think the following question, okay, what technology? Is it Wi-Fi? Is it WiMAX? All right, how many users? Where is the access point? What is it used? Right, are there any known areas? So I believe different user you ask, some of them might say, hey, you know what, I have to sit at living room, then I can get a best connection. But some of them say, no lah, my room's better. What? So you got different result there. From there, you conduct site survey, then you see, oh, no wonder this 2-room is the best one, for example. Are there any known areas that may lack? Which area, you know, they know or not? Some of them said, no, the whole house is okay, the whole space is okay. All right. What type of application? This one, different user, different application they will use, and what they expect to use in future. For example, currently maybe one of the user not using Microsoft Teams, but in future will use Microsoft Teams, for example. Currently not using streaming application, but in future, yes, because another few years will, you know, maybe registered as university student, for example. Will voice or other application require? This one related to this application. If you use a lot of streaming applications, so this one required. Roaming, is it required or not? Means roaming means the capability of movement of the user from one place to another place where it's involved the changes of the access point. In other words, if you are using more than one access point, so it's required. All right. What are the wireless security requirements? So the current one, do we have any wireless security? Oh, we are using WPA, for example. Okay, what is the future one? Do we want to change or not? You need to ask. If they don't know, and then some of them they don't know, but they said, if got the updated one, the latest one, go for it. Then that's one of the data that might actually support what you want to recommend. Are there any legislative compliance requirement? If you want to have this, you know, what's the limit? You know, and is it, you know, what's the do and don't, something like maybe there's a set of rules that not allow you to have certain implementation. And even you can ask a question, if we want to improve the current infrastructure, what is our budget? What is our budget? You can ask that question also, no problem. That's why you fulfill back to the budget. Because monthly, currently, maybe you pay 130. So the budget should be within that amount as well, maybe, or you can estimate until maximum 200 maybe. So it depends. Yeah, depends on the requirement. Right, any question? Okay, so we move on. So you can add on question, ask about, what do you satisfied with the current usage or not? Which is the best place that you preferred, you know, best place at this site that you prefer to have, you know, to perform the download process, for example, or upload process. Right, next one, manufacturer guidelines and deployment guidelines. These are the things. That's why it's very important for you to understand either the site, wireless site that you want, the current one, and also in future that you want to have. Is it you go for the specific provider? Is it you go for the specific vendor or manufacturer or not? If yes, like you said, must use Cisco lah, must use D-Link lah. Please check their website. Is it their address, the do and the don'ts or not? Something like, if you want to have D-Link product at your home or at your Soho, you must actually install it where. You must actually have it in a aircon room or what, for example. Okay, this one you need to check. If you don't care what brand whatsoever, there is no issue there. But in APU, yes, we are very concerned on the manufacturer and deployment guideline. Defining physical and data security. You want to have a data security, you need to understand what problem that currently we had in our wireless infrastructure space. Normally, it could be this kind of interference called radio frequency jamming. Jamming. Or you can say it's because of interference. Same thing. And it could be intentional or unintentional. What I mean by intentional, unintentional? Unintentional, you never realize that the material available at your home space is actually may leads to the interference. If it's intentional, you already know that microwave having issue, radio having issue, you still place the microwave next to the wireless router. Then it's intentional, right? As the name implies. Okay, this one is just definition. What is the interference or RF jamming? And when you want to evaluate what kind of physical and data security requirements for your wireless infrastructure, you need to see the physical security and also data security, because these are two different things. Yeah, physical security, what is it currently available at your wireless infrastructure and what should be installed in future if it's not available currently. And when it comes to data security, is it you actually put a procedure where sharing a data within the wireless infrastructure space is actually this data, it have to go through certain application that is secured, or it must be through websites that having this secured shell SSL, this was what HTTPS, the one that provided with encryption, right? And then documentation, all right. There's any documentation about floor plan? Normally floor plan blueprint is almost similar, all right? Proposed location of furnishing or electrical specification, but it depends, yeah? Some house is, normally, some house is provided by developer. It's already means your parents bought it from the developer. So if their parents, your parents actually bought it from developer, normally, before they move into the house, there will be a document. Normally we call it an agreement to buy a house. Inside there, they will have a details about floor plan, electrical, electrical specification, etc. If don't have one, because of your parents or the owner of the house is actually build up the house on their own land, normally they also still got the floor plans and the details, but it's simpler manner because they need to hire hired an architect to draw this detail and submit to the to the council in order for them to get a proof of build up the building or build a house on that particular land, right? So not everyone will get this detail, depends. And then documentation is the major part. So in this case, if you're not having this in place, so you are the one who started up, right? So that's why you need to have that details in your report, right? And if you don't have it, then you need to assume, come up with one that you draw and assume it's, although it's estimation, although it's not the accurate one, it's just an estimation. But for those who already got the accurate or the one that is already available, then you just need to capture on the, capture on the certain portion that involved in your site survey area. Okay, never mind just now. Right. Infrastructure, connectivity, and power requirements. These are the things. Okay, the one that related to the power setting. Normally when we want to see the details about this power settings requirement, is actually location of your wiring closets. You want to simply move, you want to simply have access point here and there. You need to understand how many power point you got at your home. Like me, even if I want to have more than one TV also, I just wondered which power point I want to pull up. Rather than use extension, it's not secure, right? Okay, it's not safe. And then what are the current wired infrastructure device that you use and what's the expectation in future? So this one, current and future, means current and expectation. Current usage and future expectation, you need to consider. And connection speeds between sites, means from, you can actually do the speed test from the wireless router to the nearest, means maybe you sit next to it, or maybe you sit, after that you sit at the staircase, and then when you sit at your room, there's a difference. You can have that details, that information in order to see about the requirements and also the expectation. And electrical power requirements, that's why I want you to see beneath of every hardware, they have this power outage details. Is it an energy saving kind of product? Right? If energy saving kind of product, they have this logo, right? Some of it is all time kind of product, and normally they don't have this. That's why it's really critical for the device to be changed. Even you can see how Unify provider, they can, even Astro as well, you can see the equipment, they keep changing, right? Because of, if you got the all device and the latest device, you can see the difference. That's why I want you to research in terms of this, if different product, what's their requirement. And you want to Google, actually, you can type, for example, wireless router plus 2021. So they will give you a latest product of year 2021. If you want to find out that all product, wireless router plus maybe 2015, they will give you different product. That's how. Okay? Any question? Okay, currently no. Right, understanding radio frequency coverage and capacity. This one, I think we discussed a lot during chapter number 3. We discussed a lot during chapter number 3. That's why when I want you conduct your assignment that day based on chapter 3, I want you to understand what's the radio frequency that currently you have and what you want to maintain or what you want to have in future or to be installed. You need to also know what's the current hardware that you have, and also to understand what you will require in future. If you already have it now, means no need to demand for it again in future because you already have it. And then output power, this one already talked about it just now. Receive sensitivity, this one, receive sensitivity, you need to look at line of sight. Is there any barrier in between? And even you need to see the potential of environmental interruptions that may affect the performance. All right. And last but not least, client connectivity requirement. We look at so much about intermediate devices, network devices, but we forgot what our user want. User number 1. Hey, you are using what? Hey, I'm just using my laptop. Okay lah, laptop only. You never use your mobile with wireless infrastructure. Hey, good lah. I'm using my iPhone. Okay. First user already got 2 devices. Second user maybe more than that. So that's why it's very important for you to ask the user 1, 2, 3, what's the, potentially what are the devices that they use in order to be connected to the wireless infrastructure. All right. And another thing you need to see as well, how the network devices connecting the client through what kind of access point. Is it the one that with antenna type, and what kind of antenna? Is it horizontal, is it vertical, or omnidirectional? All right, and is it the users or the client devices is just being placed in one space or in one place, or the user tend to move here and there, right? That is another thing that you need to analyze as well in terms of client connectivity requirement. All right. Any question? So no worries. Currently, I just want to highlight to you that the submission is in week 14. Now we are in week number 9. We still have another 5 more weeks to submit assignment. That is on 17 December, right? Latest 11:59. But if I'm not mistaken, I already opened the link and started 5 days before. Right? Means the earliest you can submit is on 15 December. Is it? Oh, no, on 13 December. Okay, on 13 December, and the latest is on 17 midnight, 11:59, because 12 it closed. Right, 12 midnight is closed. But please don't forget, don't immediately submit here. Don't immediately submit here. Submit at the link that I provided in the informal submission, just to check for plagiarism or similarity. Check there first. If clean, below 20, all right, if it's you achieve 30 or so, but then it's just a common terms like table of content, misalnya name, your name, and then it's no issue. All right? Clear? Any question? Any other question you want to ask? All right, maybe for some of you, you feel shy to ask in class because different students will have different question. No issue, right? Again, I would like to stress, highlight to all of you that please be creative. When I said be creative, don't restrict your capability only to what being suggested or what being recommended. All right, and for your information, we lecturer also not perfect, and you have to understand what makes us come up with a better results is because of research. So maybe I did research for the last months, but some of you just researched recently or yesterday and you got some important information. So just apply the latest one that you got, right? Because mine, the one that I researched maybe for the last month. Okay, Miss, the site-specific documentation. Hey, the site-specific documentation is your assignment report lah, your assignment report. The assignment report. All right, like if you don't have your floor plan or whatever, that's why I said you just draft your own, no issue. No issue. All right, some of you got it. Miss, what does radiation? Okay, it's like this. Actually like this, Dafa. It depends on your user, Dafa. Some user, I don't know lah, some user, who knows, one of the user very concerned about radiation. Because they heard this, they heard lah, but it's survival out there, you know, they don't want to use wireless because they're worried about radiation. Even when you want to go to sleep, they will put their mobile phone very far from the place where they sit because of they're worried about radiation. And that's the reason why it's very important for you to research the device. You research about that wireless router, that brand, maybe D-Link. Find out from D-Link, is there any information about radiation? And normally, most of the network devices and most of the end devices that being shared by vendor, provider, they have a clear explanation about this product is not contribute to radiation. So that one might be good information as well to be included into your assignment for you to recommend why such product being recommended to the end devices or to the site. How about presentation? Good news, Alfonso, no presentation for this module, no presentation. That's the reason why I'm not sure is this good news or not, Alfonso, because of this assignment, no presentation, but I don't know, for me, you really need to come up with very good documentation to represent on your knowledge and understanding. The whole idea, you read your assignment. If you yourself, you don't understand your assignment, you read the assignment from page 1 until page 25, you yourself confused. What I'm writing? I got confused sometimes. I said this and that. Means be careful. That's not going to be a good documentation. But once you read your assignment, you can understand from page 1 to page 25. You organize it properly, then it's already good. Miss, final exam is in December. I think January lah. Wait. Hey, Afnan, go. We need to see the course schedule. When I check course schedule. I can't recall, Afnan. To be honest, I can't recall. Let me check course schedule. Let's check together. The exam schedule not yet out, right? Not yet out. If not yet out, I believe it's in January. But what's the specific week? We can see in the course schedule. All right. I never save students' course schedule because I always refer in AP space. No. Let me just check. Or anyone got course schedule with you? Maybe can share in the meeting chat so that I can display it. If no, never mind. You also like me. Don't want to, don't want to save, because it's already there in cloud. What happened to my laptop? Zeng Hong shared part. Very good. See? I told you, there must be someone. Okay, thank you, Zeng Hong. Okay, let us see together. Let us see together. Hold on. But to be honest, they are, some lecturer, they memorize all of this. I don't know. They really have a good mind. Many space available in their mind. To be honest, like me, this one, I can refer on something, so I don't want to memorize. There. Mobile, wireless. Okay, there, up there. See here. Immediately after your 2 weeks break. So you cannot have extra lah, You cannot have extra. So you must actually immediately after that 2 weeks break, normally end of the year break, right? If you got that 2 weeks break, immediately you will have exam. Hopefully on Monday, no paper lah, Hopefully start on Tuesday so that a little bit, some ample time for you to relax after 2 weeks break, after New Year break. But it's okay. Your revision week is here. I only disturb you this week only. Latest day, I disturb you on 17 December. And then we are going to disturb you again for exam. Alright? So within these 3 weeks, if you want to communicate with me about exam also, no problem. But remember, your exam, I will release the question a week before. A week before. I forgot to tell you. Let's say, if your exam is on 10 January, it means that on 3rd January, I already shared the exam question, because your exam question is, you need to do it within 1 week time. And don't be surprised when you receive the exam schedule, it will be mentioned that the exam the question will be shared a week before and submit on 10. For example, if the exam is on the if the submission on the 10. We have to do survey with user in what is it, Kelvin? You mean for our exam, is it, Kelvin? For exam, is it, Kelvin? Kelvin, is it your question referring to exam or assignment? Assignment. Yes, you need to do survey with users inside. It's like this, Kelvin. Like what the internet service provider provided now. When they start install the network devices at our home for the first time, they will do a speed test, So when they do a speed test, they will instruct that nobody to use internet. All right, it's only him, the one who tests it. And then after that, then it allowed everyone to connect and see what's the result of it. So in your case, you can do both, no issue. We want to see if with user, what's the result? If without user, what's the result? You can see the difference. You can see the difference. To be honest, you can see the difference. Even you want to do a daytime, even nighttime, also got difference. You know, normally during the time where most of us connected to internet, right? Miss, is our test arranged? No, Jinjiang. Our test that day agreed already, right? 20. Hold on, I'll check calendar again. Hold on. Calendar 24th is on. 24th. Test. Let me type here. But I will make a proper announcement a week before lah. Class test 24th November, Wednesday at 11:45 AM to 12:45. 1 test. Right? Then what is this? So we conclude. Hold on. So we okay, Miss OT. Okay. Assignment. So we conclude the survey and type it into assignment. The results of the survey. Yes, Kelvin. Actually, Kelvin, the way you write your documentation, because you're not doing presentation, right? You're not going to have presentation. You will have a documentation. So normally, if I were you, if I was a student, I don't want to write, and then I'm not guiding my reader. So what I will do, according to figure 1 above, it shows the site survey result conducted, you know, on which time, on which day, with 5 users currently using the wireless infrastructure as well. Okay. While figure 2 shows the site survey results resulted from the survey conducted at 12 midnight where no users using the infrastructure except the surveyor, means the person who performed the survey. So according, it shows that figure 1 compared to figure 2, what is it you're finding? But to be honest, hardly lah. I got this one from student assignment, hardly. Got lah, they got figure, got. But sadly, they got figure. They have figure, many figure, but they did not summarize the figure. They did not address what is it they want us to understand from the figure. Okay. And even, I'm not sure, if I were you also, you know that all your users are heavy user of streaming application. So all users maybe currently all on Microsoft Teams, on Zoom meeting, whatsoever. You check, you conduct site survey, what's the result? Even you check, you conduct a performance test, what is it? And then you can see. Then you can see either got problem or not. Okay? Clear? Any question? Yeah. Okay, hold on. So we already have a good number here. Ajani, you're very silent today. You have any question, Ajani?
No, ma'am. All good.
Okay. Okay. You're okay, You're not sick. You're feeling well.
I understand. Yeah.
All right. Okay. So the rest, how is it? I know week number 9 is not. It's not a good. How I want to say it. I experienced teaching every intake. So we can see the patterns of student. Week number 9, 10, 11. Oh my God! Even week 14, you can see. You start to be busy. But luckily for your intake, After you're busy, you will have a long break first. You know, long break, then you have your exam. It's not that only 1 week. Yeah? In your case, you got 3 weeks, then okay lah. But sometimes it's not good as well, because some lecturer will take opportunity to have presentation, to have whatever they want, yeah, because maybe they want to prepare the student for final exam. But on my case, I don't like to disturb student in we call it buffer week. I rather settle everything in week 14, even revision for exam. Then yeah, that's why at least you know, at least you can manage or organize your time for other modules that required, yeah, critical time. All right. Okay, so I think that's about it. Before that, I need to take attendance. Please ask if you got question. Please ask if you got question. Hold on. Sure, because when you... Okay. Hold on. Take attendance first. Okay. So I need to... Hold on. Refresh. Okay. And Lona, let me settle this first. Later I'll check back. Maybe you have question. All right, there you go. Open the appendix first. Okay. Lecture. Then proceed. Your class should start at 10:45. Okay, correct. 2 hours. Correct. All right. Okay. All right, there you go. Okay, currently attendance participant just now is 58. Right, but I hope it's increasing. All right, so is there any question, or let me check while taking attendance? Okay, I thought you asked question. All right, no problem. Thank you for that compliment. All right, you all also the best. No, please class, if you got question, just ask. Don't feel guilty to ask. I'm just worried that student feel that I don't want to ask lah, pity her. No, don't. You want to ask, just ask. If I cannot answer, I just say I cannot answer. All right, but we try to figure out how we can solve the problem. Can you help? Okay, Jason, Jason, let me just write your name. Where's my pen? Hold on, I take pen first. Pen. Okay. Jason, okay, Jason, I will only update after I shared the attendance, because normally I need to go to the list. Okay, but I will update it. Please let me know if I did not update it. Armendra, who else? Irene. Okay, all right. So Irene and Jason, okay, that's about it, class. If there's no question, thank you very much. Right, and Aiko also, Aiko. And don't forget our tutorial session this Friday, because I will have a tutorial related to the lecture of what we call it, WiMAX and LTE. All right, that one will be this Friday. Right, okay, thank you very much. So 3, I need to update Jason, Irene, and Aiko. Oh, you also cannot, Michael. All right, 4, Jason, Irene, Aiko, and Michael. All right, thank you very much. Take care. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Miss.
Welcome. Okay, Jason. All right, I take note on that. Okay, Michael also settle. Okay, Michael and Jason settle.